Okay, so this should be going. Can you hear me? Mom? Mm.
Hi.
I'm trying to do an interview for an assignment that I have to do. So
I just pulled my face in. I pulled her face.
Oh, it's not on yet, so.
Yeah. I need to slap it into the right center. This is where we get
I'm gonna. No.
Oh, Aaron.
Oh yeah, hi. Can you hear me at all?
Ooh, I hear something.
Hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh,
Can you
great.
hear me?
Great. Give me one
What
second.
happened?
Oh, okay. Sorry for the technological difficulties.
That's okay.
So, the thing that the assignment that I have to do is a 5-minute presentation or 5-minute interview with a professional of the psych or social work field.
Okay.
And I am going through what types of communication, how you effectively use communication in your line of work, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'll be like, although this is still recording, we'll start like in a couple minutes, just so we can get settled.
Okay.
Now.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So, what?
I'm just really enjoying it. You're doing great.
Thank you.
You are.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm having a lot of fun, definitely.
I'm glad.
And the classes here are great, so yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Another feel self-conscious about my hair, so I'll just say that up front. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Just gonna really quickly. Oh, sorry. So, hello, Debra. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me tonight. I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions in regards to how you use communication effectively in your workplace. Just for a little bit of background, do you mind just giving me a brief rundown of what you do as a professional?
I am a full-time psychotherapist working for a the Pittsburgh Pastoral Institute here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I also run a retreat center and offer spiritual formation.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. All right, and when you're in those types of roles, what types of because I'm really new. I'm just a new student, so I was wondering what types of communication types you feel that you utilize.
I think my biggest skill and gift in communication is to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Communication has more to do with listening to what the other person is saying or feeling, or how their body is reacting to what you're saying, than it does to formulating the next question in your head. Or a lot of times we never really listen to the other person. We spend a lot of time editing what they're saying for our own advantage in our head, and then we spit something back out, and so we never really connect.
Wow,
So
yeah.
for me, communication is a lot about the part where you don't talk, the part where you listen deeply and you look at the person to see how they are responding.
Definitely. So you would be taking more of almost a look at the conversation, be in the conversation, but at the same time looking at the conversation through a lens that's making sure that you're effectively communicating by just listening instead of
right.
Instead of
I think
formulating.
our deepest human need is to be fully heard.
Mm.
And people can tell whether you're listening or not, and that communicates volume.
Yeah. What's so you say people can tell when you're not listening to them, or when you're not listening effectively to them. What has been an instance where you felt like either a client has felt that about you, or you have felt that about like maybe a professional?
Well, I felt it myself in my own counseling, being the participant or the client, where you kind of know that the person you're talking to is zoned out and they really aren't present in the room. But it goes back to, I learned this from my children, and basically when you're sitting there completely preoccupied and they're going, "Mommy, mommy, 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 listen to me," that's when I started being aware that a lot of times I wasn't in the room. I was physically in the room, but not present.
Definitely. So I'm getting what you're saying is that it's much more important to be like just interacting with the person than just letting it all slide over. So being in the room, so to say, is you saying making that strong connection with the client or with the person you're talking to. Okay.
Yes.
That from what I can remember about times where I've felt that a person hasn't been in the room with me, that sounds really like it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What has been an instance, like how do you go about fixing that? Like once you feel like someone's zoned out and you're on the other side of it, how have you felt it would be easy to, how have you been able to kind of bring them back?
Well, to switch it another way so that perhaps look at my sitting with a client. Normally, the way they zone out is not through boredom, but it's through following a thought that takes them out of the room. For instance, I ask them a question, they become very silent, their eyes divert, and they're silent for quite a while. And I let that. I'm very okay with periods of of silence. So I allow them to be there for a while, but not so much that they would get lost. I kind of have an inner timing. And so I'll often just very quietly interject the words and say, so what's going on over there? Or where did you go? And then be quiet and listen.
Yeah, that seems like it's a really important, it seems like you believe very firmly that that's a really important, like that letting them kind of go away and then come back for clients. Is that really important to you, or?
It is, because they're processing, they're doing their own work. I don't need to talk a lot when I'm doing a counseling session. I need to ask the right questions at the right time, and allow them to do their own work.
Okay. So that would be that. I'm mentally trying to sum up all of the stuff because it's been really good to hear all of this. I'm just mentally trying to sum up all of the stuff that you've been saying, just in regards to how I want to go further in my career. So when I'm with a client, they feel like I'm listening to them. You're saying that the most important thing that I can do is not judge and look forward into what the conversation holds, but just to be present for them and to be listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's critical because, in truth, you don't know where the conversation is going to go, and you don't know what they're going to bring to you. We might have an assumption of it, but we really don't know. And it's allowing for, I like to call it kind of radical hospitality, allowing them to have a space that's safe for them to unfold and unpack whatever it is they are ready to unpack. So they can feel like they can say whatever it is. And oftentimes that's not at all what I expected to come out, and sometimes very startling. And just to sit with that is, they won't ever say anything that they don't feel like you're willing to hear.
And that is a really huge component of having a relationship, like having a psychiatric relationship of any sort. Sometimes that building that trust enough for them to say something that they wouldn't normally say to another person.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that was 5 minutes. A little bit over, in fact, and I really do want to thank you again for all of your help here.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the broadcast, but I would love to check in with you after this video, see how everything is feeling on your end, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.